Today I'm going to talk about how I plan to get sponsored to drift across the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tremendous honor to introduce to you Drift Across the World.
Hey guys, so for those that don't know me, Andy Howard is my name, and I'm going to talk about how I plan to get sponsored to drift across the world. So first of all, we need to change something. So as you can see, we've changed the name from sponsorship to partnership, and that's exactly what this is going to be. This is going to be a partnership between me and the company looking to invest in not only myself, but the project to drift across the world. And in this video, I'm going to briefly explain how I plan to get partners on board. So starting off, I can only talk about my own experiences, what I'm going through and what I plan to do. So the very first step I needed to do was to be able to answer some questions. To be able to get those questions, however, you need to be able to step into the partnership shoes. So if you're the partner, you're looking for what's in it for the partner, what is the return on investment, what's the risks that are involved, like loads of these questions, and the only way to do that is look at it from their perspective. So if I'm a potential partner looking to invest in a product, a service, a organization, a project, then one of the biggest things that I would look for is reassurance. Where is my money going? Where is my product going? And how am I going to get return on investment? And how soon would it be? All these types of questions. So then you're able to go from the other side and to be able to answer those questions, to be able to get an understanding of what the partner or potential partner really wants. So for me, I need to be able to answer all these questions and more to give them reassurance that this is a good potential investment. So there's three main sources of support. There's financial support, part support, and services. So with financial, obviously that's money. That money can go to, for me, the likes of fuel, travel, getting the car from A to B, ships, transport. Then there's parts, that can be tires, suspension, fuel lines, engine parts, seats, pretty much anything to do with parts. And then there's service, anything like servicing the car or remapping the car. The biggest thing for me to be able to gain partnerships is to come up with a plan. Have all these questions already answered and more. Compile them all into a solid plan, and above all else, how am I going to add value to that company? So what is it that I believe a partner wants from me? Well, apart from being a good communicator and being professional, really at the end of the day, they want more sales or more brand awareness. And how is it that I can give that to them? If you're not competing and winning at a high level, then you need some way to prove that you can actually add value to this company. And this is going to be my way. So what I need is a plan. I need to have a plan to be able to prove to potential sponsors and investors that this is worth investing into. It's funny, every time I think about sponsorship, I think back of like the days before social media and how like companies actually got sponsored to do stuff, whether it's like in a magazine or maybe it's on the telly. But nowadays, if you don't have enough following, it's very hard for companies to be able to come on board and say, yeah, we really want to sponsor you, because your media outlet or your advertisement is actually your following. And some people don't have a niche audience to be able to sell a product to. So for me, this is my plan. Create content. At the moment, I need to look at this from a potential partner's point of view and what is it that I can actually offer them. And at the moment, I have very little of value to be able to give to them. I don't have much followers on social media. Currently at the moment, I have like 4,500 followers, and on YouTube, I think I have like 500 followers. So the target audience is probably maybe 40% of that audience is actually into motorsport and into drifting. So at the moment, I need to be able to build that up. So the idea is I'm going to add value by doing this. So the goal is to reach 250,000 followers on Instagram and TikTok. And then on YouTube, 100,000. So these might seem unrealistic goals, but you put a plan in place. So the plan. For one whole year, I plan to do the likes of reels and small, short content stuff. I plan to do 486 posts in 1 year. And then long content formats such as YouTube and podcasts, for a year, I plan to do 138 long forms of content. So this so far is all just minimum stuff. So this will be done no matter what. So how do I guarantee all this? Well, for me, I'm an individual, and there's more individuals out there who like certain things like I do. And for me, I could not watch this. So having somebody get a car and drive it from Australia to Ireland is one thing. Having someone do it and go to car events, not only car events, but drift events, then drifting the car and not knowing where you're going to end up, or not knowing where they're going to, what events they're going to do, or what people are going to meet. It's so unknown that I feel it would be very hard not to watch and not to be engaged with. So I plan that there's more people out there like me that would love something like this. And on top of everything else, it's for a massive great cause as well, of raising money for children facing critical illness and actually making wishes come true for them, supporting Make-A-Wish. So for me, it all makes perfect sense. Simple as, dreams come true, anything is possible.
Where to get partnerships?
Where to get partnerships? These can be individuals, they can be companies, they can be anyone really. But for me, I need to be able to find partners that I can actually add value to. So the likes of McDonald's or Dell, Google, any of these big companies, they already have a massive marketing strategy that why would they give me 10 grand if they can put 10 grand into a Facebook ad? So it doesn't really make sense. So I need to find companies that have faith in me, that understand what it is that I'm trying to do, the vision, the goal of trying to raise funds for children facing a critical illness and actually fulfill dreams for children. All this sort of stuff, I need to be able to find those companies and find those individuals. So how do I find those companies? I have to think outside the box. I have to go, again, looking from their point of view in. So the likes of construction companies, like construction hire companies who are here in Melbourne, like the amount of Irish that are coming over to Australia already, that they would be able to get their first job, get their foot in the door and work in construction, and how what I'm doing and advertising and mentioning them can actually bring them business. So stuff like that really helps them, and it's a partnership then, it works both ways. Then the likes of like parts for the car, such as like a suspension company, I can add value to them because I'm able to showcase not only does their suspension work on the road, it works on track, and it actually gets you across the world. It literally gets you from Melbourne all the way to Ireland. So I'm adding value that way, and advertising and showcasing their product is top tier. Once you have a list of all those companies, the next thing to do is to write a partnership proposal. In the partnership proposal, it is about you, what you tend to do, what is in it for the potential partner, and how much everything is going to cost. No partners or potential investors want to be able to have to read a massive story or have to dig deeper to find out what is in it for them. So give them the really small breakdown of who you are, what you do, and why they would want to invest in you. Write it in a really professional. There's loads of companies out there, you can try to do it yourself, but the more professional it is, the better it is all around, because again, you are the face, you are the brand ambassador for them. So it really starts at the top, how your email is. For me, I'm dyslexic, so I need to like proofread everything. So yeah, really put a lot of effort and emphasis on being really professional with everything from the get-go. Once you have that partnership proposal already done, then you need to start gathering emails. So you need to be able to get onto those companies. Small tip of what I'm doing is ringing them straight off the bat and looking for a marketing manager, looking for an email that you can actually directly target a person, because that has more chance of actually getting somewhere rather than info at or contact at or hello at. So trying to find that. If that doesn't work by calling them, email. Just look for a marketing manager. Don't just send your email to infos, because it just gets lost. No point in putting in all that time and effort just for it to be deleted and never seen. So just on that, I know how difficult it is just to phone up people and just cold call and knock on doors and the whole lot, but it is a numbers game at the end of the day, so don't get disheartened. People will say no, but you'll learn from it also. Like at the moment for me, if I contact 100 people I would say maybe 5 would be half interested, and maybe 1 out of 100 will seek more information and actually be willing to have a conversation with. So it is just a numbers game, but the more doors you knock on, the more people will answer. One more thing on top tips for me, what I'm really trying to do is just get in people's faces. So meet them face to face. If I can set up a meeting, if I can buy them a coffee, if I can go to the office, if I can just rock up when they haven't responded to an email when they're local enough, and just go in and look for that kind of person. People do forget, especially online, that people are human behind the screen. I often forget that as well, that we all are human. It's not just robots. On some of them are, but it's not just everybody. So yeah, everyone's human. So that human connection, building up rapport, networking, it's all to do with it. So hopefully you have a bit more of an understanding of how I'm trying to get sponsorship and partnership. And yeah, if anyone has any questions or any suggestions for me, I don't have all the answers. I'm only speaking from my own personal experiences. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, any suggestions, just write them in the comments. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.